And good afternoon, HCAR members. I want to thank you all for joining us today for our mid-year general membership meeting. I'm Robin Harris. I'm the 2023 president of the Howard County Association of Realtors, and I'd like to call the meeting to order. If any of you at any time have any questions or comments, please put them in our chat or in our Q&A section, and we have our HCAR staff monitoring both to respond to your questions in a timely manner. And just to get started, to review our agenda today, first I want to give the president's report, and then they will have our CEO, Sarah Rain, who's going to provide an operations report, and then our board treasurer, Cleveland Horton. He will be providing the treasurer's report, and then our committee chairs are going to give an overview from each committee. And you'll hear from Susie Padgett, who is our 2023 president for HCAR Cares, our charitable nonprofit, and then all of our wonderful community projects and initiatives will be talked about by Susie. So as part of my president's report, I'd like to provide a mission moment, and we are all in the process of professional development for different reasons, and collectively we strive to help our clients achieve the dream of home ownership. And as your realtor association, part of that responsibility for HCAR is to provide you with knowledge so that will help you advance your success in the business. And that being said, we have invited Linda Phillips from Howard County Department of Housing and Community Development. She comes to provide us a brief overview of all the resources that we have at our fingertips for us and our clients. So Linda, I'm going to turn this over to you. Thank you for joining us, Linda.
All righty. Well, thank you so much, and for the opportunity to share what Howard County has to offer home buyers. Personal goal for me has always been to have realtors be just as familiar with the county program as they are with the state program. So again, thank you for the opportunity. We can move on to the next slide. So exactly what is the SDLP program? It is a county-funded program that assists home buyers with financing for down payment and closing cost. The program can be used on its own or in conjunction with state programs or any other down payment programs that are out there as well. SDLP is not a grant. It is a deferred loan with interest rates at 2% below the primary mortgage interest rate. So whatever the home buyer locks into with the primary mortgage, SDLP would be accruing interest at 2% below that. There's 5 different loan products that are offered under the program. Eligibility for the products is determined by the household income and assets. And just to throw out a little bit more information, one of the products is for a loan of up to $40,000. There's 2 that are up to $25,000. There's one that is $15,000. We also have another little product that I like to call, it's for those people who are employed in Howard County. If they're employed full-time, this program, the product will assist with the buyer's 1/2 of transfer and recordation tax. And this is the only one that is actually a 0% interest loan. It's only up to a maximum of $4,300, and it is forgiven by 10% each year that they continue to be employed in the county. Because it is a county-funded program, I wish we could say we never run out of money. On occasion, we do, but applicants must lack the funds that are needed to pay for the total cost in purchasing the home. So the applicant does not come and apply directly to the county. The loans are submitted by the primary mortgage lender after the applicant has a contract on a home and has been approved for the primary mortgage loan. My processing time is 9 business days prior to closing. So it's really on that loan officer to make sure that they get me a complete package at least 9 business days prior. I'm not sure, I've heard things like with the state, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I know that a lot of times realtors, they're concerned that it takes a lot on the end of whatever entity it is providing the down payment assistance. So hopefully, again, the processing time of 9 business days is works pretty well. Move on to the next slide. So the borrower must make a minimum contribution of $1,000 plus have 1 month's mortgage payment in reserves. Borrower assets that are greater than 2 months reserve must be used first. So in a case like that, it would basically be the borrower putting in above the 2 months that they have, and SDLP would make up the difference between what they have and what they need. The maximum purchase price is currently $484,432. We do follow the state and what they have with the maximum price. Property must be occupied as their primary residence, and the borrower must complete homebuyer education prior to closing. We have had some conversations about, did we want to change that they need to have completed the education prior to signing a contract. At this point, we have not, but obviously the sooner they get into the education piece, it's more beneficial to them as well. And with the last slide, I think I did this really quick. I think I'm probably just a couple minutes, but we do have the complete information packet up on our website. You can always go there to access it, or I could email it to anyone who's interested. And my email address is here. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email and I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Thank you so much, Linda. We
I think I
appreciate
did that pretty quick. Well, thank you. So again, please, anyone ask any questions, send me email if you have any questions that need to be answered.
Thank you. And we love that you're a resource for our community of realtors. We really appreciate your time today.
All righty. Well, thank you so much. You all have a great meeting.
Excellent. Thank you, Linda. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. So now that we've heard from Linda, I hope you all can have some takeaways from that and be able to support your clients with down payment assistance funding as it relates to their needs through our county. We're going to move on to the State of the Association. First, I'd like to highlight a few of our accomplishments from the past year, and we are in our third year, I'm going to slide 10. We're in our third year of providing free CE classes as a key membership benefit. And we have also increased the number of classes that we offer, and we've been offering quarterly night classes for our dual career agents. And since November, we've held 181 classes that 737 unique HCAR members have taken advantage of and have offered over 317 hours of CE credits. We also hold Century Lock classes twice a week, and we have monthly new membership orientation classes. So plug in where you can. On the next slide, we've held our 5th annual conference and expo earlier this year. We offered CE classes there. We had nationally renowned speakers, and we had a bustling expo hall. If you didn't make it this year, I encourage you to, it's an annual conference, I encourage you to come next year. We hosted over 300 members, sponsors, vendors, and visitors at this year's event. And we expect that the conference will continue to grow and expand in the years to come. So we're very proud of a moment that we've had with grant funding. We have been able to secure HCAR programming this year. From the National Association of Realtors, we received 2 diversity, equity, and inclusion grants, and that funded the recent DEI town hall, as well as a training for our staff in diversity, equity, and inclusion. We've also received 2 fair housing grants, which funded a consumer housing event and upcoming consumer classes taught through the partnership with CCC SMD, that's Consumer Credit Counseling Services of Maryland and Delaware. We received a broker outreach program grant to fund a broker luncheon featuring Michael Kasnick from the Real Estate Commission and Chuck Caskey from Maryland Realtors. We finally received a generous grant from Bright MLS to help fund a grant to help fund our government affairs programming. And we received a grant from Maryland Realtors to fund staff training. So in total, we've secured $29,590 in grant funding this year. That's a win. And we've held a number of events this year to provide education and networking opportunities for our members, including a legislative breakfast to connect with our state elected officials. We had a member appreciation week, our RPAC major investor dinner, and the aforementioned consumer housing event, broker luncheon, and DEI town hall. And there's more to come. Please read your Sunday morning newsletter and other HCAR communications to ensure you don't miss out on any of these awesome events. And another thing we did this year that is near and dear to my heart is that we identified HCAR's core values. And these are the values that we refer to and learn and lean on when we're representing HCAR and when making decisions on behalf of the association. So our board identified the following as our core values, which will soon be on display in our office. We're going to have plaques to display these core values in our office. So when you walk into our offices, you get the feel and know what we're all about. And those are demonstrating leadership, act with integrity, promote professionalism, foster collaboration, value diversity and inclusiveness, and strengthen community. And we hope that our members will see these values and know that HCAR is dedicated to your success and to the future of this industry. And I also want to talk today about our focus this year on partnerships, both in the community and in our industry. It's our vital importance to HCAR that we're involved in all the discussions pertaining to our association and to our members. So we're working with people at the state, local, and county levels to secure a seat at the table so we can not only advocate for you, but also learn how to serve you better. Our strategic plan calls for a stronger relationship with the Howard County Chamber of Commerce. And by reaching out and engaging with them earlier this year, we've already participated in an economic outlook panel at the County Executive Ball's State of the County address. And we've been more involved in their legislative efforts by being active on their Legislative Affairs Committee. And additionally, the Chamber invited us to participate in a coalition with other HCAR professionals and associations in Howard County, so we may determine how to best support each other for our good of the whole of Howard County economic health. And we're also joining an effort coordinated by the Maryland Realtors to provide the opportunity for local associations and legislative committees to meet monthly and discuss issues that affect the entire state. Because as we know, sometimes state activities trickle down to the local level, and we want to be prepared at the local level for those. And finally, we've had some conversation with the county administration and council about HOCO by design, and we've offered our expertise and perspective on the Howard County Affordability and Spending Committee and on the Housing Opportunity Trust Fund Advisory Committee. So we're committed to forming the alliances needed to strengthen our industry and provide more opportunities for home ownership in Howard County. And finally, applications for available positions on HCAR's board of directors are now open. We are looking for industry leaders to serve on our board and help shape the future of our association. There are 3 director positions available and 1 secretary position. And if you visit www.hcar.org, you will find all the information, including position descriptions. The deadline to apply is August 4th, and I hope to see some applications from all of you. Now I'd like to turn this over to our CEO, Sarah Rain, for an operations update. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robin. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Rain. I'm the CEO of HCAR. Honored to be in this position and serve all of you. And I just want to thank all of you for joining us today for our general membership meeting. I'd like to give you an update on the association's operations. Next slide. Thank you. So let's start by reviewing HCAR's staff structure, which is relatively new. I came on as permanent CEO in November of 2022, and on January 1 of this year, I implemented a new staff structure based on the strengths of our current staff members and the needs of the association as laid out in our strategic plan. So in addition to myself as CEO, Makisa Ponder is our marketing and events director, and she is responsible for the bulk of our communications, social media, graphic design, photography, weekly newsletters, and event planning. She is also the association liaison to the HCAR Cares Board of Directors. Najee Bailey, who is our newest staff member, is the Government, DEI, and Public Affairs Director. He is responsible for the strategy of HCAR's legislative outreach, media relations, and efforts related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. He is the staff liaison to the DEI, legislative, and RPAC committees. I'm sure many of you are well acquainted with Rita, who is our operations and education administrator. And Rita is responsible for scheduling and coordinating all our continuing education and designation classes, as well as overseeing our daily operational needs. Rita is the staff liaison to the education and fair housing committees. Danielle Jacob is our membership administrator, responsible for onboarding all new members, providing training and services related to our lockbox services, and maintaining our association management system and membership records. She is the staff liaison to the preferred partners and YPN committees. And Robin Lewis is our administrative services professional and usually the first person you see when you walk into the HCAR office. She manages our front desk and our realtor store and serves as staff liaison to the forms and broker manager committee. So this is our team, and we work very well together, and we work very hard to give you the best possible customer experience and value for your membership. Next, I will touch on a few specific operations items that I'd like to make you aware of. First, as of July 1, HCAR will be moving to a new accounting firm. The new firm is called Bruin and Associates. They are a firm that specializes in realtor associations. They currently work with about 100 associations across the country and have extensive experience in all aspects of realtor association bookkeeping, reporting, and CFO functions. We are very excited to start working with them because their expertise and their hyper-focused boutique services will free up some staff time to focus more on member services, while also ensuring our board and our membership feel confident about the association's financial reports. Starting this year, we are offering an auto payment option for dues billing. This is something that our members have been asking for, and we are happy to provide it this year. We've enabled our system to store your credit card to automatically charge your card on the day your annual dues are due. In this way, you don't have to think about it. So that is available in your portal. And we also have an instructional video on how to do it, and we link to it in our weekly newsletter. Also this year, we are implementing a new refund policy, which mirrors policies utilized by our state and national associations. Any dues for the coming year, which are paid prior to the November 1 due date, may be refunded if a member makes the request to HCAR staff before November 1. If a refund is requested once the benefit year begins, we are unable to grant that refund. This allows for a window for a member to determine they don't want to move forward with our membership, while also ensuring that our association is observing responsible business practices. Also new this year, HCAR is participating in the Maryland Realtors statewide professional standards program, which means all of our professional standards cases are being handled by the state association. This not only saves HCAR money, it also ensures that professional standards practices are being enforced equally and consistently across Maryland. And finally, I wanted to remind you that we have an on-site realtor store stocked with great products at heavily discounted prices. We have open house supplies, realtor branded gifts and apparel, lockbox accessories, and more. So you can browse all the products on our website, or better yet, just stop in and take a look around and say hi, and we would love to see you. And so now I'd like to ask Treasurer Cleveland Horton II to provide our financial report.
Thank you, Sarah, and good afternoon to our members. Thanks for being here today. Let's begin with a review of our membership numbers. We currently have 2,016 primary realtor members and 76 secondary realtor members for a total of 2,092 realtor members. We have 196 preferred partner members and 23 institute affiliate members. Our total membership is about 2,311. While our total membership is down by 58 members compared to this time last year, our primary realtor membership is up by 21 members. Next slide, please. As our financial position, we have assets totaling $3.96 million, and we have $2.2 million in available operating funds. Here are some additional highlights. Just to touch on our budgeting process, starting with fiscal year 2022 budget, the Budget and Finance Committee decided that we could run our budget somewhat lean and somewhat in the red due to additional funds reserved from prior years, and therefore giving more back to the members with more events at discounted prices and free CE, among other benefits that you all have enjoyed over the past couple fiscal years. We recently started work on the fiscal year 2024 budget. Regarding our Snowden River Parkway office, HCAR purchased 2 units in October of 2015. which were placed in service in July of 2016. We purchased them for a little over 1.1 million and financed a little less than $800,000 with improvements. Money was set aside to pay the loan off completely by the end of 2023. We are on track to make our last payment in October of this year, so great job. Finally, to provide an update on the association's investment strategy, in late 2020, the association's investment committee interviewed several local advisors and ultimately hired Oxford Planning. The association invested $500,000 with a 50-50 cash bonds to equities ratio approach. Since then, the market has, of course, fluctuated significantly, and although our portfolio is down 4.2% since its inception, it is up 8.85% since October of 2022, with improvement predicted in the fall or beginning in early 2024. I'd now like to turn it back over to President Harris.
Thank you, Cleveland, Treasurer Horton. Thank you very much for that. And I'm going to introduce the committee chairs. HCAR's committee reports are going to be presented by each HCAR committee chair. And we will start with, thank you to all the committee chairs for your reports, by the way, and for your hard work this year. We can't do this without you all. You all are the backbone and leadership of our association and the boots on the ground as far as where the work is getting done. So we appreciate you. And I'd like to ask Susie Pageant, start with the first committee chairs, our preferred partner network. Okay, so Robin Abney Spivey, please provide a report for us.
Good afternoon, Sarah. Good afternoon, President Harris, fellow committee chairs, members, and preferred partners. The preferred partners have increased onboarding of new preferred partners by 24 now, which includes a senior consulting company, architectural company, and notary public. We want realtors to have access to preferred partner services for your respective businesses. In terms of marketing of the preferred partners to realtors, the Preferred Partner Committee has had an appreciation event in conjunction with the conference and expo, a realtor-facing survey, educating members about preferred partners. During Member Appreciation Week, the Preferred Partner Directory was provided along with a swag bag, that were given to realtors who did attend during Appreciation Week. We will be doing more future collaborations in the future. And I would also like to thank my co-chair, Anita Castell, staff liaison, Danielle Jacob, and the Preferred Partner Committee for their great work. I hope I'm in line with my 2 minutes. I'm sorry.
You did great, Robin. Thank you so much for that report. And I'm going to see who's next here. We're going to change the slide for the next one. Okay, we have our chair, Cleveland Smith, who's going to provide our Young Professionals Network Committee report. Take it away, Cleveland.
So apologies, Cleveland was not able to attend today. I'm going to give the Young Professionals Committee report. So the YPN committee has been very busy. They've been doing monthly network and learns. And usually they're on the second Thursday of the month. These events are bringing together new members in the business and experienced agents, as well as preferred partner subject experts, to network and have candid conversation on topics important to your business. They are also working on a new member support system, which is very important. Over 30 members responded to a survey posed by the YPN committee with meaningful answers for the top 3 concerns for realtors joining the business. And as a result, coming soon are materials for rookie realtors with tips from experienced realtors in leadership roles in the business. The committee is also working on an education schedule tuned to address these major issues faced by rookie realtors. The 2023 Summer Soiree, so save the date. The annual Summer Soiree is on August 10th, 2023. This year's venue is the Turnhouse. Sponsorship opportunities are now available and attendee registration will open with more details in the next couple of weeks. And then we are so excited for the return of Boo Bash and Bowl. So that is going to be in October. We don't have an exact date yet. Stay tuned for the website, the weekly e-newsletters with more information. I can't wait to see who gets to take that trophy home this year. So thank you so much, President Robin.
Thank you so much. And I am going to now introduce Jim Hyatt for our Broker Manager Committee report.
How's it going?
Hi, Jim. Good to see you.
So for the Broker Manager Committee, we had a couple goals this year. The number one goal was bring value to the brokers, right? So there's a lot of tools and trainings and resources available to our realtor sales associate members, but the brokers really are the ambassadors for HCAR, right? So typically when a new agent comes over, gets their license, the brokers, the managers are the ones who refer which board to join typically, right? So we want to make sure that we're providing the value, the services, and getting the involvement from the brokers. Like, what can we do better for them? What can we do more for them? So that was kind of like one of our main missions this year. We had a couple meetings. Sarah was able to apply for the NAR Broker Involvement Grant, which we actually were able to get a nice lunch at Seasons 52. We had Michael Kasnick and Chuck Caskey come out. So it was a nice event. We had some brokers that I haven't seen in a while in attendance. So that was nice. The other thing was like, what kind of resources for new brokers starting out? So, a lot of times we'll have agents that go out, get their broker's license. And I've had agents that have launched for my company and they start a small independent and they don't know where to begin. So, I'll actually, coach and counsel them. Okay, you got to make sure you get your E&O insurance, you got a form server, and join this board over here as a broker member. So there's a lot of those things that there's, new brokers have no idea. So one of the things we had talked about was building like resource manuals for new brokers and startups. So those are a couple of the goals. We have I think one more meeting set for next quarter, and we're making some traction. We're starting to get more broker involvement, but that was our main goals for the year.
We thank you, Jim. I'm getting some feedback, so I apologize. But thank you very much for that report, and keep up the good efforts toward getting that manual provided to our new brokers. I know it's going to be a benefit, and it is a lot of work. So thank you for that. We know how much work that is. Thank you so much. So next, we're going to hear from our RPAC committee report and our president-elect, Pete DeDrew.
Hi all, good to see so many familiar faces and friends today. Thanks for joining. I am Pete DeDrew. I'm the current RPAC chair. And RPAC, as a reminder, stands for those who've forgotten, Realtor Political Action Committee. RPAC's been around now for more than 50 years with the goal of promoting the election of pro-real estate candidates. So contributions are voluntary only. There's no mandate to do so. And why donate? Because we do want elected officials that appreciate what we realtors do and promote home ownership as well. So essentially, when you donate to RPAC, you pay to protect both the industry and to promote the industry at the same time. We strive to collect donations from as many members as possible. And of course, we have a fundraising target that we're working on. Few things that I want to bring up. The first is August 3rd will be our major investor appreciation event. RPAC committee and HCAR, we appreciate our major investors, and our major investors will be invited to go sailing on the Chesapeake Bay on a schooner August 3rd. Next, the fundraiser that we are having this September is a bourbon tasting. Tickets are going to be a little cheaper than last year. And of course, the donations are going to be raised for a very good cause, RPAC. And we will have a couple of experts in bourbon to take us through the Old Forester line of bourbons. RPAC continues to work to raise funds. That's our goal. And donations are always welcome. And For those who want to donate, feel free to go to the HCAR website. There was a link. That's my report. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Pete. I appreciate that. And I hope all of the members that are listening do a little research into what RPAC actually does and how they've been affected by it indirectly because of the efforts of everyone on the front lines advocating for our communities and our home ownership rights. Next, I want to introduce our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Chair, Jimmy Jennings, who's also our secretary for his committee report. Thank you, Jimmy.
Okay. Well, thank you, Robin, and to our entire HCAR community here. First of all, just to know our mission this year was to promote our diversity, equity, and inclusion within the Howard County Association of Realtors and the communities we serve by promoting equal opportunity and cultural diversity within association membership engagement and leadership recruitment. So we had several things that we did and implemented this year that I'd like to share. The first of all, we set aside an initiative called the DEI Pledge for all of our HCAR members who wish to pledge their support to inclusivity and equality in the real estate profession. And with that, we've had over 230 HCAR members who have taken that DEI pledge. We've also launched the Agents of Change program, which is an HCAR designation that is to be given to those agents who go above and beyond to demonstrate their commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And by the way, that is not an easy program. And with that, we launched it at the beginning of the year. We have 10 Ruby level members and 4 Diamond level members that you can find them also on our website under the DEI committee, DEI website for HCAR. So that was something else we also have implemented. And the third thing we did was we had our annual DEI multicultural town hall that went extremely well on June 8th. For those who attended, I'm sure you got a lot out of it, but I think that is just a great success. That's something that happened every year and will be annual. And so that's something that we've also implemented and did. And the last thing is right now we're in a phase of developing a minority scholarship program with Howard Community College. And that's something we're in the implementation right now. We're still developing it and working towards a pathway to a leadership program. So that's more to come. And that's something very exciting that's happening with DEI. So with that, Robin, that's my 1.5 to 2 minutes. And I hope I made it.
You did just fine. Thank you so much for all of the hard work and for that entire DEI committee. I take my hat off to you all because you all are doing amazing things. The insight and the next level thinking that comes out of that committee is just unsurpassed by many other associations in the nation. We are a leading force in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
And next, I am going to introduce our Legislative Committee Chair, Steve Miller, for our Legislative Committee report. And he is another hardworking chair on this staff and also a board member. Steve, take it away.
Thank you, Robin. Appreciate the kind words. Thank you all for joining in this afternoon. I know we're all pretty busy, and I appreciate everybody jumping in to get a grip and a bead on what HCAR is doing for our members. Legislative Committee has been very busy this year. Earlier in the year, we meet every single week, every Monday morning, bright and early. We reviewed over 220 pieces of legislation at the state level. On the local level, we've had 5 bills that we have reviewed specifically that apply to our industry and to property ownership in Howard County. We've submitted testimony in 3 of them and been invited by the council on multiple occasions to attend work sessions as they're developing these pieces of legislation as we go forward. We've also met with members of the administration, which Robin had mentioned earlier on at the beginning of this meeting, regarding HOCO by Design, the county's master plan process. We met with Department of Housing, Department of Planning and Zoning, and we are in process right now of meeting with our elected county council members. So far, we've met with 2 of the 5. We have 1 more scheduled for next week, and we're trying to get the other 2 locked down in the next couple of weeks after that. We pride ourselves at the Legislative Committee on building bridges between both our organization and our elected officials, but also our colleagues in other aspects of the business, as well as our colleagues in our industry. We've collaborated with our folks to the north up in Carroll County to assist them in defeating a proposed recordation tax increase earlier this year. We're working with the state level to, as Robin mentioned, to get an ongoing monthly meeting statewide so that as these initiatives come up, we at the local level can get out in front of them and lend our support where we need to. Lastly, in December of this past year, which is technically the beginning of this year's term, we hosted our annual state legislative breakfast. We will have another one that's going to be coming up at the tail end of this year. More details will come with our state elected officials. And then during our expo back in March, we hosted a legislative breakfast with our local county elected officials. So a lot of stuff goes on in legislative. It doesn't just go for the first 3 months of the year when the General Assembly's in session. We're still churning and working as hard as we can. So again, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you to everybody that's here today.
Thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate that report, and your hard work does not go unnoticed. We appreciate you. Thank you. And next, I'm going to introduce our Education Committee Chair to give our Education Committee report, another board member, Ms. Cassandra Dorsey.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here this afternoon. And if you're wondering what is this brown thing flapping in my camera, it's my big dog on my lap. I'm rubbing his ear. He's a big baby. So as far as the Education Committee, what we've done so far this year, first time we collected donations for at the Education Expo and Conference, and we were able to pack and donate 210 blessing bags in Howard County. The bags, there were some for men, there were some for women. I don't know the exact breakdown of everything, and also for kids. So thank you for your generous donations and lugging that stuff, and for those that came and packed as well. Some certifications and designations that we have already completed. The bias override and at home with diversity, pricing strategy advisor, military relocation, real estate negotiation expert. And we do have the ABR scheduled for October, coming up in October. And co-sponsoring with HCAR and Frederick and HCAR, we will have the home finance resource that is scheduled right now for September 13th and 14th. And it will be virtual. And we are waiting on some more details so that we can offer housing opportunity certification for the fall. We just wrapped up Member Appreciation Week, I think about 2 weeks ago, maybe it's that long. And that was an opportunity for members to come in and get 15 hours of CE for their license renewal in that 1 week. It had some other electives and also a technology session. So as I said, it's been a pleasure to chair this committee for 2 years. Thank you so very much. And back to you, Madam President.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dorsey. I appreciate you. You are a hard worker on this board as well. And we have a lot of great ideas that have come out of our Education Committee, and they are making sure we're all on our toes about our game with real estate. Next, I'm going to introduce Rachel Oslan, who is our Fair Housing Committee Chair for our Fair Housing Committee report. Rachel, you are next.
Thank you, Robin, very much. So we've started a new tradition at HCAR. Oh, let me just start with this. The mission of the Fair Housing Committee is to educate and advocate for the interests of all consumers as it relates to housing opportunities. So our goal was to reach out to as many consumers as possible to educate them about what their opportunities were and what their rights were, basically. So we had our first annual Fair Housing Consumer event. That picture right here on the screen is exactly what our tent looked like, minus the flag and minus the thunderstorms. So we actually held it inside, and we're hoping to have it be bigger and the weather be better next year. So anyway, we're going to do that. That was fantastic to have different organizations from around the state, including a representative from Dr. Calvin Ball's office, to be there to to talk with people and learn. It was great. A lot of agents came, a few people from the community came, really had some great conversations and got to learn some new things. So keep your eye out for that for next April during Fair Housing Month. We also this year had Dr. Ball had a Fair Housing Month proclamation making April Fair Housing Month for Howard County. And members of the committee and board went to have their pictures taken and accept that proclamation from Dr. Ball in April. And then so we will have that consumer housing event again in the spring of next year. And hopefully we'll also have the proclamation again next year. And we're also starting a book club, and had originally thought we would keep it with just the people in the committee to try and keep it small and see if people actually enjoyed it. The feedback, if people really want to be part of it and enjoy it, from Colette Massengale at NAR all the way to people at GBBR requesting to be part of it. And we haven't even launched it really. So we're going to be reading the book, The Color of Law. And if you haven't read it and you don't want to be part of the book club, that's fine too. But if you haven't read it, even though you may know a lot of the history of how our communities were built and zoning and all the ways integration and segregation were created by the government, it's a great book to read. And so we'll be doing that together. We'll be meeting on Zoom. An announcement will go out as soon as we're ready to get that started. And then I would also recommend reading this speaker will be, Chuck Caskey's going to be receiving or interviewing Nolan Gray at the annual conference in the fall, in the fall at Maryland Live. And that just came out today, was the announcement of that. The email went out to everybody from Maryland Realtors. Chuck Caskey's going to be introducing Nolan Gray, who's the author of this book, Arbitrary Lines, How Zoning Broke the American City and How to Fix It. So Color of Law is one that we recommend. We're going to do it at this book club. The second one came out just after this, same author, which is Just Action. And that's when we want to do too. And Arbitrary Lines, I'm just recommending because the author's being interviewed by Chuck Caskey, and you can get some greater insights into that later at the event. Thank you so Madam Harris.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Rachel. Great job and great books for us to get started on. And now we have our HCAR Cares President, Susie Paget, with our update on all the wonderful things that they are doing in our community and representing HCAR Cares. Susie, take it away.
Thank you, President Harris. I want to say, first of all, it's very impressive everything the association is doing. I appreciate all of the work that you all are doing on our behalf. And it's clear we're in great hands, and yay, go us, we're paying off that mortgage. So I'm the 2023 president for HCAR Cares Board. We're excited to share with you all of the work that our 501c3 organization has been doing in our community. Just so you have a history, our organization was born from the efforts of the HCAR Community Outreach Committee, which was a collaborative effort of HCAR members charged with serving the community and in the name of the Realtor brand. The desire to expand the reach of these efforts led to founding HCAR Cares, which became an official tax-exempt nonprofit organization in September of 2019. Although the organization launched just before the start of the pandemic, we've been able to accomplish so much. Thanks to our fundraising efforts and donations from HCAR community and beyond, we've donated $40,400 to organizations and individuals since our founding in 2019. We've supported over 50 organizations with financial and volunteer resources. Just a few highlights from the past year. If we could move forward to the next slide. So at the end of last year, of course, HCAR and HCAR Cares were awarded the 2022 Maryland Realtors Care Award in recognition of our community outreach efforts. The award came with a $9,000 grant from Maryland Realtors, and we put that to good use in Howard County and beyond. Next slide. So we held a chili cook-off in November, and that raised over $2,500. As always, our Thanksgiving basket drive was a huge success. We collected 400 baskets. Since this effort was launched in 2013, we've been able to provide 2,152 local families with Thanksgiving dinner. In December, we adopted families from the Linwood Center, providing them with everything on their holiday wish lists. The Linwood Center is an organization that offers individuals with autism from ages 5 to adulthood lifelong services and program continuity. We were happy to support them. Earlier this year, we partnered with the organization Love and Lunches to make and distribute over 100 lunches to folks in need in Baltimore City. Just a few weeks ago, we partnered with the HCAR Realtors as good neighbors to effort to collect donations of food and supplies for Columbia Community Care. We also gave them a generous donation and signed up to volunteer to deliver groceries to people in Howard County who need them but don't have a way to go get them. We delivered groceries to 30 families. Also, next month, we will kick off our second annual Christmas in July to support the Ears for Fears program through Respite Retreats, which puts together fun activity boxes for children with cancer and their siblings. Keep an eye out for more information about that. In August, we will complete the first strategic plan to ensure we're moving forward mindfully and building our organization to make the biggest impact possible. In September, we will be funding and building 10 beds for Sleep in Heavenly Peace, which provides beds to children in need in our community. Our board will also be accepting applications for 3 vacant positions, so please consider getting involved. Right now, we are having our pet idol contest, so you can still vote for the pets that are on our site until July 15th. And lastly, we'd like to make sure you notate that we're going to be having a winter soiree, and that'll be our big fundraiser. So keep your eye out for that. More details to follow. Thank you very much, Robin, for the opportunity to serve.
Thank you very much, Madam President Paget, for serving us in that community outreach capacity. We appreciate you. Now, I'd like to open the floor to the membership for any questions that you might have about the association or anything you've heard. Please feel free to unmute and ask your questions or put it in the chat. And we will have Sarah Rain leading our question and answer session.
All right, thank you, Robin. Makisa, could you stop the sharing so we can see each other? Thank you. All right, let's see, we have any plans to offer more evening courses? We will certainly take note of that, and we would love to. It's been a little difficult to find instructors who are willing to teach in the evening. And as always, if anyone knows of someone, or if you are interested in becoming an instructor and teaching in the evening, please let us know. But for now, we are making sure that we do it once a quarter, and we're making sure that they are the requireds, so that if you are dual career and you can't make it here in person during the day, you can at least knock out some of your or most of your required CE online in the evening. Questions? Any other questions?
We must have done a good job in updating.
We're doing a great job. That's awesome.
That's great.
Listen, you know, anytime anybody has a question or you just want to chat, please feel free to stop by the office. If my door is open, I am free and available to chat. I'll put all my contact information, including my cell phone, in the chat as well. Please call me if you need anything. Oh, Cleveland Horton.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. since there were no, I guess, serious questions, I guess mine's a little lighthearted question. I want to make sure ask, did everybody see the clip of Rachel Oslin in her comedy debut?
No,
And
we
I
did not.
definitely
Do
want
we
to
have
give
that to
Rachel,
show?
I definitely want to give Rachel a thumbs up and a shout out. One, for just stepping out there doing something different, right? So you are inspiration and motivation, Rachel. So I just wanted to give you that special shout out.
Thank you so much, Cleveland. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I
I
don't know
appreciate it.
how I have missed that, but I'm going to Google
Yes.
that immediately.
You're gonna have to
Shirley?
share, Rachel.
It's on my Instagram, Rachel O Comedy, and it's also on my Facebook page. And it's just a quick little clip, and I'll put other clips from it because it won't let me do the whole thing. But yeah, thank you so much. And I'm
That's
blushing
cool.
over here in the corner. So thank you.
All I could think, Rachel, was you are your father's daughter.
Yes.
He was a
Absolutely.
funny man.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing him up because, you know, he's who I am because of what he taught me as a home inspector
Yeah.
in
Absolutely.
2006. Yeah. So thank you. And thank you, Cleveland.
Shirley?
Yes.
No, I just wanted to find out where to find the video, but
Oh,
Joy answered.
okay. Gotcha. Well, no other questions, comments, inquiries, requests, complaints?
We take them all. There's a suggestion box at HCAR if you ever want to leave a recommendation, a complaint, a comment. We welcome all feedback because that's how we grow. So we hope that you might consider sharing your thoughts with us so we'll know how we're doing as an association.
Danielle, are you ready to share your screen so that we can give somebody a $50 gift card?
Only one can win and yet to be present. Let's see.
That's great, Sharon. Thank you for the comment.
Okay, let's see who is going to win.
So exciting.
Michaela Datu, are you here?
Michaela.
Michaela?
I don't see her.
Going
No?
once.
Well, I'll become Michaela.
All
Spin
right.
that wheel again.
We will spin again. We'll spin again. All right, Frida, are you here? I think I see you.
She was.
Is she here now?
There she is. There she is.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
The big winner.
Oh, my first meeting. Thank you.
Wonderful. That's
Okay.
great.
Danielle, could you stop share? Thank you. Okay, everybody, that's everything. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We're here for you, so just let us know what we can do.
Yeah, and thank you again to all the speakers today, Cleveland, Sarah, Susie, and all of our committee chairs. You all have been doing an amazing job for HCAR this year. We are better together. And I just want to appreciate, and I want to recognize Shirley Matlock, who also comes in and helps with our orientation for our new agents that come in for their orientation. She gives them the lay of the land. She makes them feel comfortable. She shares a lot of knowledge and wisdom with them. So we appreciate you too, Shirley. Thank you. And Shirley was our past president last year, so she's very familiar with our board. And thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to call this meeting adjourned, and you all have a wonderful afternoon.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye.